everyone, welcome to another episode of the Home Show Unlimited. And for today's episode, we have a very special guest with us. He is the Vice President of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines. He studied philosophy and has been in the Philippines for 10 years now. His legacy with real estate comes from his international experience with real estate branding and brand marketing from his time in Dubai. Please help me welcome Mr. Lorens Ziller.
Thank you, Alex. I'm very happy to be part of your program.
So welcome to the Home Show Unlimited. Thank you for being a guest today on our show. I know you're so busy with all the events that you are planning. So how are you?
Oh yes, I'm great. Very busy with online events and some other projects. Yes, even though we are in a ECQ, I'm still doing okay.
That's good. Your family is well as well?
Yes, everyone is okay. And Cagayan de Oro is that's the important thing.
Yeah. So you were born in Italy, right? You're Italian.
I was born in German-speaking part of Italy. So my father even was from Germany, so I'm half, you could say. I attended German schools, and then since it is an Italian territory, they gave us an Italian passport. So sometimes who we are is a real question mark.
So you're German-Italian, basically.
I'm German-Italian, yes. And South Tyrolean, because that is the part of Italy where I am from.
And how did you come to be based in Dubai? Because you mentioned you're based in Dubai for a few years.
Yes, I was based in Dubai for 5 years, but when I started my career, so around I was 24 years old, my objective was to get around. In fact, my first job was as an export manager, and I was very lucky to be able to travel as export manager to Africa, to the Middle East, to Asia, to India, to the US. And then I moved to London. And while I was working for this multinational, on my spare time, I used to buy and sell real estate properties. So basically, buy old ones, refurbish them, and then sell them back to the market.
So you used to flip properties?
I used to flip, yes.
In which country?
Italy, and then from there, I decided to take real estate seriously, so to say, because I was making more money with my side hustle than with my...
Than your main job.
Yes. So with a friend of mine, with an agency in Dubai, and we moved to Dubai and started promoting properties in Dubai to the Italian and European market. And that's where I also got involved in real estate. We branded some projects with some brands like Tofino Lamborghini, other brands that I was involved with. Yes, and then in 2011, so exactly 10 years ago, I happened to come to the Philippines. That's for the real estate branding. That's when Century Properties was launching their Trump Tower. So that's the reason that brought me to the Philippines. And after staying here for a week, I decided to extend for another 2 weeks. And after the time ended, I extended for another 3 months. And see, I'm still here. I keep on extending.
So you've been here for the past 10 years already. So why the Philippines? Why not go back to Dubai or settle back in Italy or Germany or the US? Because you've been traveling around the world. Why did you choose to settle in the Philippines and here in Cagayan de Oro specifically?
Okay, so the Philippines gives you pros and cons, right? The pros are you can live a very comfortable life. The people are very happy and friendly.
Yes, we are.
That is really the nice part. really in love with the Philippines from that point of view. Now, from the professional point of view, the Philippines does not offer as much as, for example, Dubai or as the UK or other countries. But if you're hard-headed enough, you can succeed also in the Philippines. It's probably not going to be so financially rewarding, but maybe if the lifestyle is what you're seeking, then definitely the Philippines is the right place.
What's the main difference? Because you mentioned like it doesn't offer as much compared to Dubai or other countries. So what do you mean by that?
Well, it is actually very simple in financial terms. While in Dubai, it is not a big deal to earn $10,000 a month. In the Philippines, it is a big deal. You must be very lucky, or you must do a lot of business.
Okay, so it's like there's more money going around in Dubai. It's not as hard to do business there.
It is not half of the world meets in that place and does business in that place. So it's easy to come across deals and come across people that have a lot of money to spend. And so in one way or another, you can and negotiate deals. Yes. And here, of course, as a foreigner, it's even more difficult because I am not allowed to practice real estate. So I focused on marketing and branding as my main, let's say, income source, especially with clients abroad, and mainly active with the Italian Chamber of Commerce.
So who are your clients for your, basically you're a consultant for marketing and branding?
Yes, for clients outside of the country.
So it's good because you're able to do everything online. Since you mentioned that your clients are located abroad, you do everything online.
Mainly in real estate anyway. So just to clarify what sector is estate developers and real estate brokerage companies.
Do you also have clients here in the Philippines as well?
Well, I used to be involved with a developer here, and from time to time I have, but that's it. I have no direct affiliations in the Philippines.
So since you've been staying in Cagayan de Oro for a couple of years now, how do you find the business climate in Cagayan?
By the way, you asked me why Cagayan de Oro. I will tell you the why Cagayan de Oro. In 2011, and that was a week before Sendong, I came to Cagayan with an American. We were invited by Italpinas Development Corporation, which I had just gotten to know a few. And they toured us around Cagayan de Oro, especially here in Uptown. They showed us this potential CBD, and they were quite impressed. And I was especially impressed with the climate here in Uptown. They said, "Oh wow, if it was always like that, then it would be great." And the people here are also very nice and friendly, even more than in other parts of the Philippines. So that was really impressive.
Well, Cagayan is known as the city of golden friendship, right? So at least I'm happy to know that Cagayanans are really living up to that.
And golden opportunities, right?
And golden opportunities.
For those who are able to grasp them, it's really potentially the right town also to make money. Again, I do feel a little discriminated as a foreigner, but I can help many people to actually improve even better. I've been asked if I can help companies for exports, because that's going to be a big deal, exporting to Europe, for example. The local companies can just export to Europe with this on this platform and really be very competitive compared to others.
So you also help local businesses export goods to Europe?
Yes, through the Chamber of Commerce, we have businesses export to Europe. We help local businesses to find clients in Europe. We're really like an all-round export consultant, also for Filipino companies.
Okay, so let's talk about the Italian Chamber of Commerce. There's also another Chamber of Commerce here, which is CDO Chamber of Commerce, right, for the businessman here. So what is the Italian Chamber of Commerce? What does it do, and how does it work with? How do you work with a businessman here, local businessman here in Cagayan de Oro, and with the government as well?
Well, the Italian Chamber of Commerce is a non-stock, non-profit organization that helps Italian business and Filipino businesses to connect and create opportunities together. The Italian Chamber gives several services that goes from B2B meetings to networking well, to dedicated partner search services. And like, for example, what we did yesterday with the Italian Chamber and Auto Chamber partnered together to deliver a great development conference, like the Northern Mindanao Business Conference that was held yesterday. And so we gather local stakeholders to invite potential investors and businessmen, so local and foreign, to look at the area and find eventual opportunities in their sectors. That's something very exciting actually to do. So really help companies do business.
Yes, it's very exciting because what you're saying is that basically it's being able to connect Italian businessmen with local businessmen here in CDO.
Correct. That's what we do.
Being here in CDO for quite some time now, since 2011, so that's about 10 years now. I remember that's when I became a licensed real estate broker. That's also when you came to Cagayan de Oro. So what changes have you seen in the real estate industry, since being that you're very focused on that particular industry? What growth have you seen? What changes have you seen? And what changes can you see also moving forward?
Well, first of all, when I first came to Cagayan de Oro, I did not stay here. I went back to Manila, and I came back only in 2014. So I really worked here from 2014 to 2016. And in 2016, I went back to Manila because then I became the Direct Cagayan at the end of 2019. So 4 or 5 months before the pandemic. And really what I was able to observe when I first came here, I mean, the whole infrastructure, mostly here, I mean, I was seeing a lot of planning going on for roads and other things, which then have been built. So that is very impressive. But the whole infrastructure, for example, for I said everything was in place to create a new CBD, for example, in Uptown, and new housing developments. And since it is in the last 2-3 years that it's really starting to happen. It has taken a while. I would say the potential was already there 10 years ago, but it has taken a while to kick off. I mean, those who invested 10 years ago in a lot here, for example, they have around, what was it? I think even 4,000 or 5,000.
When I started, it was at 8,000. When I started, it was already at 8,000 per square.
Some people bought even less than that.
5,000 per square for Pueblo Business Park. That's ridiculous.
Let's keep your 8 as good. And I know that now they're selling at around 40,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 40 to 45,000 per square.
Crazy enough.
Yes, and Savior Estates, I have some clients who bought their lot at like 1,000 per square, and now it's at 15 to 20,000 per square. So it's crazy, all the appreciation that's been happening in Cagayan de Oro, especially the Uptown area.
Yeah, it is comprehensible. It is one of the best places to live here in Cagayan, even though we have seen the development of other areas which have become very nice, actually more served with infrastructure and facilities. And after Cagayan has been declared a metro city, even more things happening. Roads connecting up down to Opol, for example, and then more roads going in every direction.
Do you remember when Cagayan was declared as a metro city? What year was that?
Wasn't that just recently, a few years ago, or last year? Something like that.
Last year, okay. Yeah, the ones who invested really in, especially the uptown area, because you're right, it's one of the most popular areas in Cagayan de Oro. For both businessmen and those who want to build their own houses, own residential properties, they really want to invest in the uptown area because the infrastructure is there. The roads are big, all the commercial property. There are a lot of commercial properties in the uptown area. So it's like a complete community in itself.
Yeah, we have SM Mall soon, another mall being built. Hospital that will
Opening soon.
Here. Yeah, opening soon. So it is a thriving community. And everything is near.
Community.
Actually, I saw a very interesting, that was one of our events, the Real Estate Expo Manila. And we had one speaker from IWG, and she was talking about the 15-minute city, where the new trends in future is going to be minute city. That means that that somewhere where you will reach bicycle within 15 minutes. So you have the mall within 15 minutes, the school, everything is within 15 minutes. And that is also a sign of lifestyle, because who wants to commute for hours? And that's probably more for Metro Manila to create more 15 minutes centers.
And in other countries as well, like my brother who's living in Australia, he has to drive to work at 2 hours. It's a 2-hour drive from his house to his workplace every day. So it's like that in other countries because the suburbs are really far from their workplaces.
Yeah, where the highways are there, I think it is less of a problem. I think it was for me around half an hour to go to the office, but it was at 30 kilometers. Now, you try and do 30 kilometers here in the Philippines, it will take you an hour and a half. But it's improving. So everything is going the right direction.
So what are the areas that you see here at least in Cagayan de Oro, that can be definitely improved on?
Well, we have seen an expansion in all sides of Cagayan. So east, west, and south. And that's going to happen in those areas. We've seen El Salvador having a great, attractiveness. Uptown, of course, is going towards Lumpia and beyond. We have seen in the vicinity Claveria having a little explosion in popularity.
Yes, Claveria is very popular now. I have a lot of clients buying lots there.
Yes, that will still go on. Probably many people will decide to live there because of the climate. It's always nice and windy there.
It's very
nice.
cold, yeah.
But let's say the best opportunities are going to be here uptown and beyond, even higher, more beyond Lumpia. We will see many things happening there.
Yes, the development is definitely going on in that area.
And in Itao also. In Itao, many things are happening, right? We have who are building communities along the beach or near to the beach, which is actually the right thing to do because Cagayan de Oro is on the sea. So we have like beach clubs. We don't have real facilities for a city that is on the sea. So that really is still lacking. But maybe we can find solutions for that in the near future.
Yes, correct. Initaw is really a popular area for going beach hopping. There are a lot of small resorts that are right next to each other. And there's also a subdivision there by A. Brown. Have you been to Coral Resort Estate? So I think it's
Ayala
currently...
has one, and
Ayala has one in Initaw.
yeah.
I don't think they launched it yet, but Coral Resort Estates is one subdivision that's located there, and it has
Okay.
the standard, the usual amenities of a subdivision here in Cagayan de Oro, like a clubhouse, infinity pool, parks and playgrounds, and they will also be putting up other amenities, additional amenities there as well. And they're selling already at, I think now they're at 14,000 per square for the lots in Initaw. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, how crazy are the prices now? Not only in Cagayan, but in Initaw as well. But Initaw is really a developing area.
Yeah, I think because of the white sand, the Initaw is taking advantage of that to, let's say, be popular spot for investments. I think, if the city would build a metro, a train that goes in all directions. So let's say from Initaw or beyond to Baling, from the center to uptown, then Cagayan de Oro would actually be complete and really a candidate for international fame. Because really just that is missing, the public transport.
Public transport is really hard. It takes you hours if you ride the jeep. So I hope we can create something like a subway similar to what they have in Singapore. When you ride their train there, it takes you to a different area so fast. In just a few minutes, you're there.
Also because quality of life in reality is measured by the public transport, but not necessarily for the masses. Real quality of life is when even the rich can take public transport and take public transport. Like in London. In London, you see representatives, the millionaires, they take the metro. Same in Singapore, same in Hong Kong. And that is really a sign of quality of life. It means, okay, you feel comfortable taking the metro and public transport at that. So that would really be a dream for me to see something like that in Cagayan de Oro.
What a dream. A dream for everybody. I heard that exact statement from Secretary Art Togade about public transport being the standard. Like everybody, the rich or the poor, are willing to take it because it's so clean, so functional, and so convenient.
Yeah, I think it was in 2016 or 17 when we did an event with Tugade that we put. That could probably be. We had this statement to did an event where Tugade was a speaker.
So that's why. So can you tell our viewers about what activities you have in store, what events you have in store, organized together with the Italian Chamber of Commerce that maybe we can attend because your events are already online. You had just one yesterday, right? How was your event yesterday? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It was absolutely great. We had Senator Subiri, we had the Mayor, we had the head for commercial and trade of the EU delegation, Mr. Maurizio Cellini. So there were very prominent speakers. We had the President of the Auto Chamber, Ruben Vegafria. We had the head of Region 10 of DTI and the head of Region 10 of NEDA as speakers. So that was turned out well. We had a lot of viewers. And it's really where you can really see the interest from all parties, but especially for the benefit of Northern Mindanao. and we really are trying hard. And in fact, the next events we'll probably have Cebu, so a similar event where we have promotions in Cebu, so with the chamber. And probably one for Bacolod eventually.
Oh, that's exciting. So can you invite us to the events that you have in store? When is the next event and how can they join?
Well, the exact date, the event for Cebu, I don't know yet, but I would definitely recommend to follow us on Facebook. You can just look for most of our events are online.
What's the name of your Facebook page? You froze a bit again.
Chamber of Commerce.
Italian Chamber of Commerce.
In the Philippines.
Okay. Okay, so I actually checked it out. So I'm gonna wait. No, it says book now. What's the complete name? Italian Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines.
Yes, correct.
Okay, I just followed the Italian Chamber of Commerce. I also would personally like to join your event since it's good to be updated with all the things that's happening, and it's also good to know what's in store for us in the years to come, what the plans of the government are, what the plans of the private sector are.
Well, we have a lot of activities. Well, personally, I follow everything that is connected with infrastructure and construction because I'm holding this position of Executive Director of the Infrastructure and Construction Focus Group. And that group or this organization is basically followed by most European chambers of commerce, like the German chamber, the Spanish chamber, and the Advantage Austria, and the Italian chamber, of course. And we really promote doing business in the Philippines for companies in the construction sector. That's why we help foreign companies connect with Filipino companies, and we have done some very nice art. And also there you can follow us on Facebook at the Infrastructure and Construction Focus Group.
Okay, so there you have it. Don't forget to follow Italian Chamber of Commerce. And what was the second one? The Construction Focus Group?
The Infrastructure and Construction Focus Group.
Infrastructure and Construction Focus Group. So you will just post your events there on those Facebook pages.
Correct. We have a lot of events that also have people who are building their houses. For example, we talk about flooring, or we talk about roofing, we talk about materials. So there's is in Cagayan de Oro who look beyond what they usually get in a hardware store.
So it's a lot of information for those who want to know about real estate or construction or current events.
Yeah, I really invite everyone to follow us, and you will just tour.
Okay, so before we end, how can people get in touch with you? Especially those companies who would like to consult with you, or businessmen who would like to do business with you or talk to you about exporting or being able to connect to the Italian businessmen as well. So how can we get in touch with you?
Well, the easiest is through Facebook. Or I know that since you are already here, a superstar in Cagayan de Oro, can also write directly to you and kindly ask you to put them in touch with me. Also, I mean, since I know that also from the brokerage, very well, I think we had previously the chance working together, and I think that says it all about our mutual professional respect.
Yes, that was a few years. That was already, I think, 5 or 6 years ago.
Well,
It's not. It's now 2021.
I guess.
Yeah, I think that was like 2014. Okay, so do you want to add anything else? Do you want to add? Do you want to
No,
add
but
anything
I'll
else?
be happy to hear from anyone who would like to get at disposal, and happy to help any companies to do business in Europe or find potential partners.
Okay, so there you have it. Again, Lawrence, thank you so much for your time. It's nice being able to sit down and chat with you again after so many years.
Thank you, Alex, and hope you keep on doing well like you have been in the recent times.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. And that ends our episode for today. I will see you in the next episode of The Home Show Unlimited. Bye!